One woman tried to cancel Christmas. She called the HOA, threatened lawsuits, and shut down our lights. But what she didn't expect was the entire neighborhood fighting back, with holiday spirit. Jaden Clark stood still in front of the mirror, adjusting his tie for the third time. The navy blue police uniform fit tighter than he expected, crisp and stiff in all the wrong places. A golden badge caught the morning sun, glinting with a significance far heavier than the metal it was made from. Ready? His mother peeked into the bedroom, eyes already brimming with tears. Jaden turned and nodded, forcing a smile. Yeah. Just making sure I don't look like a kid playing dress up. She walked over and straightened his collar like she had 100 times before school when he was little. You look like your father, she said softly. He'd be proud of you. Jaden blinked. I hope so. The graduation ceremony at the police academy was small, held in the community center of Ridgewell, a quiet town nestled between hills and highways. Everyone in town knew about the new cop joining the force, the Clark boy. Son of a construction worker who died in a scaffolding accident. Raised by a single mom. Good student. Kept to himself. No priors. Clean record. Solid kid. Mayor Tillman handed out the certificates, flanked by Chief Donovan Mallory, who'd been head of the Ridgewell Police Department for nearly 2 decades. Mallory was a tall, imposing man in his 50s with a voice like gravel and the sharp, calculating eyes of someone who never truly let down his guard. Jaden stepped forward as his name was called. Officer Clark, Mallory said, shaking his hand with a grip like stone. Let's hope you've got more brains than some of the rookies we've seen come through. Ridgewell has its own ways. Jaden just nodded. Yes, sir. Jaden's first few weeks on the job were mostly uneventful. Parking violations, noise complaints, small-town disputes over fences, dogs, and borrowed tools never returned. He rode most shifts with Officer Terrell, a 6-year veteran who made it clear he preferred silence over conversation. One night, just after 11 p.m., Jaden was doing a solo patrol, standard practice for rookies once they logged enough safe hours. He drove through the old industrial district, a rundown area near the railroad yard where abandoned warehouses stood like skeletons of better days. That's when he saw it, a black SUV with tinted windows, parked in the shadows behind a loading dock. Jaden slowed down. No headlights. No engine noise. No obvious movement. It wasn't illegal to park there, technically, but something didn't feel right. He parked a block away, cut his headlights, and walked the rest of the distance quietly. Through a crack in the rusted metal siding, he spotted 2 figures inside the warehouse. One of them was clearly Chief Mallory. The other was a man Jaden recognized from the department's internal watch list, Marcus Vega, a low-level drug distributor tied to several overdoses in the next county. Jaden's heart started to race. Mallory handed Vega a thick envelope. Vega, in return, handed him what looked like a flash drive and a leather-bound ledger. Jaden didn't move. Didn't breathe. He just watched. Then Mallory turned toward the crack in the wall. Jaden ducked behind a dumpster, heart pounding so loud it hurt. He waited 5 minutes before he dared to look again. The SUV was gone. He made his way back to his patrol car, hands trembling. He didn't report the incident over the radio. Not yet. The next morning, Jaden waited until after his shift ended to visit internal affairs. The nearest office was an hour away in the county capital. He told the story carefully, avoiding speculation. Just the facts. The officer at the desk, a graying man with a half-eaten donut on his file cabinet, listened with raised eyebrows. You're telling me you saw your chief of police handing something to a known drug dealer in an abandoned warehouse? He asked, tapping his pen. Yes, sir, Jaden said. I didn't engage. I just observed. But I recognized both of them. The man sighed, flipping open a form. Look, kid. I'm not saying you're lying, but these things can get messy. Got any proof? Jaden paused. No body cam footage. I didn't have it activated yet, I was still adjusting my route. But I know what I saw. The man's tone softened slightly. It's your word against the chief's. That's not much in a town like Ridgewell. You want my advice? Keep your head down. Build your reputation. You dig into something like this without backup, you'll bury your career before it starts. Jaden left the building with a pit in his stomach and nothing in his hands. Over the next few days, he watched Chief Mallory closely. Nothing seemed out of place. The man was the picture of small-town leadership, shaking hands at fundraisers, smiling for newspaper photos, even stopping to buy lemonade from kids on Main Street. But Jaden couldn't forget the flash drive. The envelope. The way Mallory had scanned the warehouse, like he knew he might be watched. One night, while finishing a late shift, Jaden noticed Mallory's office door ajar. The station was nearly empty. Just Terrell in the break room watching old boxing replays. Jaden hesitated, then stepped inside. Mallory's desk was neat, every paper squared off, every pen in place. But there was a side drawer with a lock half engaged. Jaden slid it open carefully. Inside, a burner phone, 2 flash drives, and a leather-bound ledger. He didn't touch them. Just looked. Memorized. The sound of footsteps snapped him back to reality. He shut the drawer and stepped out just as Mallory rounded the corner. Something you need, Officer Clark? The chief asked, eyes sharp. Jaden shook his head. Just dropping off a report. Sir. Mallory looked at him for a long second, then nodded slowly. Keep up the good work. Jaden walked out with his skin crawling. That night, Jaden sat on his apartment floor, back against the wall, uniform unbuttoned, badge still hanging around his neck. He stared at the ceiling. What had he just walked into? He wanted to believe it was a mistake. Maybe the man in the warehouse wasn't Vega. Maybe Mallory was running a sting. Maybe there was a file waiting to be released that would explain everything. But he knew better. This wasn't just bad behavior. It was corruption. Deep, quiet, dangerous. He picked up his phone and opened a blank notepad app. He started typing. Operation Shadowlight. Day 1 observed Chief Mallory meeting with known drug distributor Marcus Vega. Warehouse near 8th and Baker. Time, approximate 11:22 p.m. No witnesses. No camera footage. Mallory handed over envelope. Received unknown object plus flash drive. He saved the file. Password protected it. Then he looked in the mirror again, same uniform, same badge, same nervous face. Only now, the oath he'd taken felt heavier. I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. Jaden recited it quietly to himself. Then, louder. I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agency I serve. He took a breath. Closed his eyes. And I will always take action against injustice, even when justice stands alone. One woman tried to cancel Christmas. She called the HOA, threatened lawsuits, and shut down our lights. But what she didn't expect was the entire neighborhood fighting back, with holiday spirit.